In the small, peaceful village of Elmwood, life moved at a slow and predictable pace. The villagers knew each other by name, and nothing out of the ordinary ever happened until the day a mysterious stranger arrived. He was a tall, lean man with piercing blue eyes and a quiet demeanor. He called himself Mr. Grayson and took up residence in the old cottage at the edge of the woods. The villagers were curious but polite, leaving him to his solitude. However, strange things began to happen soon after his arrival. First, the local shopkeeper reported missing items, small things like a loaf of bread or a jar of jam. Then, Farmer Jenkins claimed he saw a shadowy figure lurking near his barn at night. The villagers grew uneasy, and whispers of suspicion began to circulate about the stranger. One evening, Miss Margaret Hale, the village schoolteacher, decided to take matters into her own hands. Margaret was known for her sharp mind and fearless nature. She marched up to the cottage and knocked on the door. Mr. Grayson opened it, his expression unreadable. "Good evening, sir," Margaret said firmly. "I am Miss Hale, and I believe we need to have a conversation about the recent disturbances in our village." Mr. Grayson hesitated, then invited her inside. The cottage was sparsely furnished, but Margaret noticed a stack of books on the table, all about botany and herbal medicine. She also spotted a small, intricately carved wooden box on the shelf. "I assure you, Miss Hale," Mr. Grayson said, "I have no intention of causing trouble. I came here seeking peace and quiet." Margaret raised an eyebrow. "Then why do the villagers suspect you of theft and trespassing?" Mr. Grayson sighed and sat down. "I am not a thief, but I admit I have been sneaking around at night. You see, I am searching for something, a rare plant that grows only in these woods. It has medicinal properties that could save lives. I didn't want to draw attention to myself, so I kept my activities secret." Margaret studied him carefully. His story seemed plausible, but she wasn't entirely convinced. "And the missing items from the shop?" she asked. Mr. Grayson looked genuinely surprised. "I have no knowledge of that. Perhaps someone else is taking advantage of my presence to cover their own misdeeds." Margaret decided to investigate further. She spoke to the shopkeeper and discovered that the thefts had started before Mr. Grayson's arrival. She also learned that Farmer Jenkins had been having trouble with a mischievous fox near his barn. As the pieces of the puzzle came together, Margaret realized that Mr. Grayson was innocent. She returned to his cottage to apologize. "I misjudged you," she said. "I hope you can forgive me." Mr. Grayson smiled for the first time. "There is nothing to forgive. I appreciate your dedication to protecting your village." Over time, Mr. Grayson became an accepted member of the community. He shared his knowledge of herbal medicine, helping many villagers with their ailments. The wooden box on his shelf remained a mystery, but Margaret respected his privacy. She had learned that everyone has secrets, and sometimes those secrets are best left untold. And so, life in Elmwood returned to its peaceful rhythm, with the stranger's secret adding just a touch of intrigue to the village's quiet existence.